Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another TBR video. I feel like I've done this quite a few months in a row now, but I'm doing another TBR jar prompts choose my reads for May. I had to think about that for a second. The jar is getting a little bit empty. I feel like I'll have to fill it up next month, even though I feel like I said that last month and completely forgot about it. So I did this for April and I think I chose about 6 to 8 prompts. I honestly can't even remember. And I've been in a massive reading slump during April, so I don't even want to think about how many of those books I read, probably like 1 or 2. So I'm hoping May is a lot more successful with the books that I choose for my TBR. But with all of that being said, let's just get straight into it. So I think I'm going to choose 6 prompts so it's more achievable for myself again this month. Even though I didn't achieve anything this month, I feel like 6 is more achievable than doing like 8 or something like that. So let's choose the first one. Ooh, okay, so the first prompt is a book with a purple cover. I feel like this is a tricky one actually because I feel like there isn't many books I have with a purple cover, but I will grab some and I will be back. Okay, I've chosen 3 books for this prompt and they're honestly all giving the exact same vibe, but I'm not really in the mood for any of these, so I don't know which one I'm gonna choose. Technically I am in the mood for this one. This is Powerful by Lauren Roberts, which is her new novella following Adina, and I'm actually going to pick this book up today and it's only the 25th of April, so I feel like that's cheating a little bit to put it on my TBR because I'll definitely finish it before May even begins. The next one I have is Die For You by Lauren Jackson. This is actually an Australian author, which makes me a little bit more excited to read it, and I believe it's like a vampire romance, but because I'm in a slump at the moment I just don't know if that's going to be a good option for me because I read Bride recently, which is also a vampire paranormal romance, and that was a really big letdown for me. I didn't really like that much, so now I'm a little bit nervous to go into another vampire romance in case it doesn't hit, but like I'm really hoping it does. And the other option we have I think is probably the worst option for me to pick being in a book slump, and that is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Yes, I've heard some really great things about this, but I've also heard the opposite side of that, and I've heard very negative things about this, and I honestly don't see many people liking it. People either like love it or absolutely hate it, and I also don't want to read something that will most likely make my slump 100 times worse. So I'm gonna have to go with Die For You by Lauren Jackson because I don't want to cheat and I feel like this is the best option. Okay, prompt number 2. Okay, prompt number 2. I don't like this prompt. It is a dark romance. Look, I have read a few dark romances and actually liked them, but I'm just not really a dark romance girl. I don't go towards dark romance very often, even though when I do, I quite like them, if that makes any sense. But I do have a whole shelf full of dark romances that are on my TBR that I really need to get to, so I'm gonna grab a few that I wouldn't mind reading in May, but again I don't know if I'm gonna end up getting to this book. Okay, I've got 2 books here and these are the only 2 books that I would be semi-interested in reading. So the first one is Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I read Haunting Adeline probably like 9 months ago now. Like, it's been a really long time since I read it, and when I finished it I was actually pleasantly surprised that I did enjoy that book throughout all of the trigger warnings and horrible things that happened, and it does end on like a cliffhanger as well. Because that book was like low-key traumatizing, even though I liked it, I've been like really scared to go into the second one because apparently this one's 100 times worse. I feel like I have a pretty strong stomach, like I can handle stuff like that, but I'm honestly just really nervous because I don't know what to expect. And then the other one is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is the second book in the Never After series. I believe that this one is a Lion King reimagining, which I'm very interested in, but I also get nervous going into books like this in case it ruins like the original story for me. Honestly, I have no idea what option to go for. I'm gonna get Siri to flip a coin for this one and we'll let her choose the fate for what book is going on my TBR because I've got no idea. Okay, we'll say Scarred is heads and Hunting Adeline is tails. Flip a coin. Tails. Okay, so Tails is Hunting Adeline. So that is the book that is gonna be on my TBR for this month. Okay, prompt number 3. Get your boyfriend to choose a book. Okay, I actually really like this one. I've actually been wanting to make like a TBR video where he chooses all of my books for the month, so we'll see how he goes with this one. He's actually not home right now, he's at the gym, so I'll send him a picture of 3 different books, like any choice. I feel like this is like almost a free choice of what books I want to read. Okay, we'll do Wild Love by Elsie Silver because I've been really wanting to read that. We'll do Cinder by Marissa Meyer because my mum just read this and finished it and really liked it, so I feel like that could be a good choice. Okay, the third option is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. People have been telling me that I need to read Yours Truly and Part of Your World before this, but honestly I just can't be bothered doing that and I just want to read this book. If I end up not feeling emotionally connected to this, I will just reread it in the future after I read those other 2 books, but it's just been on my mind recently a lot that I need to read this book, so hopefully I don't regret making that decision. Anyway, I'll send him a picture of these 3 books. I'm not going to tell him a synopsis of any of them and we'll see what one he picks. Hopefully he replies quickly, but in the meantime I'm going to pick the 4th prompt. Prompt number 4. A book with a blue cover. So this is the second prompt this month where it's like a book based on a color, but I feel like blue is a much better color because I feel like there's a lot of books that are blue, so I feel like I can have some good options for this one. Okay, I have 3 books that are blue covers that I'm really interested in reading very soon. The first one is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Darbos. This is the first book in the Mirror Visitor series, and I believe that this is about floating islands, which is so intriguing. And I think it's also translated from French to English, which means I feel like it's going to be really beautiful, like lyrical writing. So I've been really wanting to read this for a long time. I believe it's like part of a 4-book series, and I just want to read it so I can like heavily annotate it. The next one is Girl Abroad by Al Kennedy. I don't know if I'm supposed to read the off-campus series before this, but I don't think so, because I think this is just like a standalone romance. I believe it's following a girl who studies abroad in London, because I was watching Steph Bora's video and she was talking about this, and that just made me really want to read this, because I remember watching her videos when she studied abroad and I absolutely loved them. So if a book can give me that feeling, I'm gonna love it. And then the last option is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake at the beginning of this month, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did, and I feel like it's set up for a really good series because The Atlas 6 is part of a trilogy. So yeah, I just want to read some more Olivia Blake books now. I have no idea what this one is about, but it's actually less than 300 pages, so it would be really quick to read. Honestly, for this one, it's a bit of a hard choice, but I'm gonna go with A Winter's Promise by Christelle Darbos. Also, sorry about the lighting, the fact it keeps changing. It's like so gloomy today, but it's the only day that I've had to film this video. But yes, I'm gonna go with this one. I've just been the most intrigued by this one. I really want to pick it up very soon and then pick up the rest of the series. So hopefully I get to this one in the month. Also, my boyfriend did reply, so we'll see what one he said. He said The Left One, which was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. So I feel like that is a very good option. This is the 4th book to add to my TBR. Okay, 2 prompts to go. Prompt number 5. I feel like this video is so all over the place, so I apologize. Oh, okay, this is a good one actually. A book in a series. I actually posted a video like a couple of months ago of trying to finish some book series that I'm in the middle of, and I've been wanting to film a second one of that, so this is like a good prompt for that video. But this could also mean the start of a new series, so I could pick like anything for this prompt. Okay, we have 3 really great options for this one, so I don't know which way I'm gonna go. The first one, because I'm currently finishing A Court of Silver Flames, I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. This is arguably the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I'm gonna read it as the first book because I don't think that reading Assassin's Blade first makes sense. A lot of people say to read that 3rd or 4th, I believe, so you have more of an emotional impact, and that's what I would like. So I think I'm gonna start with this one. I've been really wanting to read this. I feel like I'm definitely gonna be a Throne of Glass girl over an ACOTAR girl, because ACOTAR really hasn't lived up to the hype for me. I've enjoyed it, do not get me wrong, but it's definitely not as like amazing and phenomenal as everyone makes it out to be, in my opinion. The next option is Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is the 4th book in the Addicted/Calloway Sisters series. The first 3 books are the Addicted series, and then this is technically the first book in the Calloway Sisters series. I started that series like a year ago, and for some reason I just have not picked up this book yet, even though I know I'm gonna love this one, but I definitely want to continue it very soon. And then the 3rd option is another great option. We have Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, and it's also either people's favorite or least favorite. I feel like there's no in between with this one. I believe this one was released last year, and I just remember seeing so many like mixed reviews on this one, and so I've been kind of nervous to go into it, but I also just really want to complete this series very soon. But because I've already got Wild Love on my TBR, I feel like I will not add this one to my TBR for this month. I think I'm gonna add Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Hopefully I get to it. I feel like if I do, it will just pull me straight out of my reading slump that I'm in at the moment, but it could also make it worse. So we'll have to see. Okay, we have 1 prompt to go. I'm actually kind of nervous because I feel like this TBR is not really going well for me. Okay, I did grab this one, but one fell out on my lap, so I feel like that is fate and that is meant to be. This is 100% meant to be. This one is a book that I want to reread. I have been planning on doing a reread of a book, so I'm not even going to give you guys options for this one. I already know what book I want to reread. Let me go and grab it. Okay, so technically I have already read this book twice, but I want to reread it for a 3rd time, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. So little backstory, I originally read this copy and it was the first ever book I annotated, so the tabs look absolutely horrendous. Like, I just could not deal with that, hence why I ordered another copy the other day, and I ordered the US edition because I much prefer it. I actually ended up DNFing it the first time I read it, so I got probably like 75% through from what I can see, and then I DNF'd it for some reason. I don't really know why. And then last year I picked it up again as an audiobook and I fell in love with it. I think it was absolutely phenomenal, one of my favorite reads to date, and so I really want to do another reread. reread and fully annotated, hence why I got a completely fresh copy. So it's like completely newly annotated, and I'm so excited to reread this because I just feel like this book, it just gives me everything I want, and I feel like it'll also help to pull me out of my slump because I just know Emily Henry can do no wrong. Okay, so that was the last book for my May TBR. So here are the 6 books that I'm hoping to read in May. I don't know how many of these I'm going to get read because, as I said, some of these are very, very random choices, but let's go through them again rapid fire. We have Beach Read by Emily Henry, Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, Wild Love by Elsie Silver, A Winter's Promise by Christelle Darboss, Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, and Die For You by Lauren Jackson. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss when I upload a new video, specifically when I upload my wrap up for the end of May to see how many of these books I've actually read. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one.